Start with Morgan, who's out in the field tonight, just as you were 365 days ago.
Well, I can tell you 1 year ago, this city was broken. It was devastated after that deadly explosion. Tonight, it was a different story. Everyone stood together in unison, stronger than ever before. It was really emotional and beautiful to see this community come together tonight. The Bar House sign was given to Abby tonight, a very, very special token from that devastating night. Now, as we think about this day 1 year ago, we think of one man in particular. That is Captain Corey Barr. He is the one, the hero, that everyone was here to think about today. Now, we do know that there will be a statue of him that everyone can go and pay their respects to. That will be outside of the fire station. The City Council approved $20,000 to go towards that statue. But listen to this, the fire department contributed $10,000. Now, again, as we are thinking about Captain Barr tonight, I can't help but think of the night that I was here 1 year ago, rushing into Main Street, seeing the frenzy of people. It was devastating. And then we looked over and we saw the nursing home being evacuated. I will never forget that moment. It just makes my heart stop. And I think about it. There are times when you're a journalist, but first and foremost, you're a human being. And that is when you jump into action and you help other people. Now, there were hundreds of people that were evacuated from this scene that night. And there were a lot of people that weren't able to return to their homes. We're going to bring in Isabel Lawrence now, who spoke to some of those people that lost everything that night.
That's right, Morgan. Reporting live in Sun Prairie, Isabel Lawrence, CW News at 9.
Now, as we are talking about those who helped others, you can't help but think about the Red Cross. But they want to thank all of the community members that showed their generosity and continue to throughout this whole past year. Now, the Red Cross says that they had volunteers help more than 100 people in the 50 days following the explosion. Roughly 20 to 30 people used the shelter in the following days to come. Red Cross volunteers served 592 meals, more than 1,000 snacks, and provided more than 430 health resources, ranging from medications to mental health referrals. Now, through the donations from the community and really across the country, the Disaster Relief Fund received more than $614,000. That is all from people giving back. Those funds were distributed to people who lost their homes, to the first responders, and business and property owners. Now, the Bank of Sun Prairie established the fund, and a committee of 15 members approved the allocations for those funds. The United Way of Dane County provided administrative support, and the Disaster Relief Fund closed at the end of May. No future donations will now be accepted. But as we are moving forward, you can't help but think about how this explosion actually happened. It all started with a gas line, and now the State Service Commission has not exactly determined whether or not a contractor violated state law the day of the explosion. Last month, a public hearing was held to determine who is to blame for striking that underground line that led to this deadly blast. USIC, the company that contracted to mark gas lines, filed a complaint against the company digging, VC Tech. USIC claimed VC Tech failed to provide notice to diggers hotline before starting their work, which is against state law. The commission is currently reviewing the evidence and will decide if there's any wrongdoing by the end of summer, as VC Tech could face up to $5,000 in fines. Now, after the break, we'll show you how memories are still fresh in the minds of everyone here, especially those first responders and the brothers at Corey's Fire Department. Now, we'll have a special story coming back, and we'll continue to look back on the lessons that people have learned and how they have overcome this very tragic event.
All right, Morgan, Wolfe, thank you.
In Sun Prairie, grass now grows where the bar house in Glass Nickel Pizza once stood. A visible sign that the healing process continues after a fatal gas explosion leveled parts of the city's downtown and killed Fire Captain Corey Barr. Now 1 year has passed, but those memories are still fresh in the minds of people, especially those first responders that responded that night. Our Amy Flugstop talked to them and learned how they have overcome this and also learn some lessons in return.
And we're going to pay honor to our fallen brother Corey Barr.
Now the first responders say that the biggest lesson they learned was communication, not just with each other, but also with the community. Since then, the police department established some more social media sites, including launching a Twitter page to get accurate information out to the public more fastly. Now, of course, we will have a full story of the memorial service that took place tonight on our sister station, NBC 15 News. We are wrapping up our coverage of the Sun Prairie Explosion 1 year anniversary out here in downtown Sun Prairie. I'm Morgan Wolfe, CW News at 9.
Morgan, thank you.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Standing here today, the way life has played out would not have been my answer. By the time the sun set 1 year ago today, the unthinkable had happened, and my world was turned upside down. But not just mine. Hundreds and thousands of people experienced the most tragic event in Sun Prairie's history.
It's a 3-minute walk from the fire station to the site of the explosion. 3 minutes that memorialized a hero's 34 years of life.
The pain of the losses from last year are still sharp in our memories.
Captain Corey Barr gave the ultimate sacrifice to save people in his community.
Corey did something that nobody could do. He brought a community together.
Something Jen and Jeff Streeter will never forget.
To feel that in the moment has been really meaningful.
People still feel that impact, and it's really great to see all of our neighbors out here.
More than 100 people showing up for Abby,
I'd like to close with saying thank you to my Tootsie Pop.
including her angel.
Your impact on the community and your fellow first responders family has been remarkable. And because of you, I have learned what it means to be selfless, brave, strong, courageous, and how to love unconditionally. And these are all things I will be instilling in our two beautiful girls.
Standing together in the street, signifying a strength they will share forever.